so now we're going to look at chord 2. We're going to think of this as chord 2 in the major, despite knowing that it's actually chord 4 in the minor as well. But we're going to look at this. Now, this is going to be a flat 7 here. This is a minor 7 chord. Chord 2, when you add the 7th, it becomes a minor 7th. And in fact, just worth noting, guys, I've said this before in other lessons. Chords 2, chords 3, and chord 6, they're all minor 7 chords when you add a 7th to the triad. We're going to jump that over here. This is a lovely, lovely, lovely shape. So there's the triad. The triad's great on its own. There's the triad. So you can hear that there. That's my foundation. That's my home base. That's if anything goes wrong and I get stuck, root, flat 3rd, 5th. I know that my minor triad is underneath there. But look, there's my flat 7 just there. Yeah? And that's with that note on an octave higher. I love these because the groupings are just really convenient. Listen to the grouping of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is D minor. So remember, in the key we've got chord 1, which is major, chord 2, which is minor. And all we're doing is we're taking the triad as a foundation, and then when we take the triad and we use that tertian movement and add the 7th, what happens is we get a flat 7. There, so that's the flat 7. There's the pattern. Those are the 2 extra notes. Look, this is a G-shaped octave. Flat 7 there, flat 7 there. I'm going to put in that extra note, well, to get a 6th here, because this is chord 2. This is related to the Dorian mode. And I'm also going to put the not note in there. So the not note is this note here. You don't have to use the not note if you don't want to. If you don't like that slidey thing. So now I can add a bit more style to this. Because of that major 6th, it's going to sound very Dorian. So let's go there. Especially if I land on that note. And I'm sliding in using part of the chord 1 as well. Okay. But now what we need with this is that little triad pattern, and let me put the triad pattern in. Go in there, there's the root, and then we get this flat 3rd just here, and we get the 5th just here. This forms another little triangle shape. You know I love me triangles. Triangles are ace, circles are ace. You know, this is what you've got to do. So I've added this pattern, and I'm adding root, flat 3rd, 5th. Now I can add it. Okay. The beautiful thing about this is we get a 2 here. 1, 2. 1, 2. We can get that 3 in there just to turn things around. Okay. So it all ties in there. Take your time with it. And what you do is you just practice these little bits. You just do. Take your time with it. Practice that bit. Practice it in chunks. But understand that it comes from there. And the idea with this is if you know where chord 2 is, and this is how useful it is. Say it was here. I know this is chord 2 because there's my chord 1 and I'm in the key here of E flat. Yeah. I know that so that lives there. Oh, actually, and I forgot, we have an extra not note in there as well. So we have an extra not note. We can fill that in there. We can slide up and down to the flat 7 or the root. So we've got all this extra stuff we can do there. But hopefully that makes sense. Look, if I take that there, this is out of the key of C. It doesn't matter where it is. I'm just basically targeting the triad. Add the 7th, which gives me that shape there. And then I add the 6th if it's chord 2. Yeah. Okay. So I can put that in there and it just goes anywhere you want to. There's a not note in the middle there. Don't want to land on it. Because if I land on it, I've got to resolve it. Okay? That's augmented. So we get augmented in there. But you start to see where all these little things come in. Now, remember, we were in C before. We've got that. That's for chord 1. There's the not notes. You can play them if you want as well. So we've got that 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord. Now the thing is, everything tallies up the same for the 3 chord. Because it's a 3 chord, it's a minor chord, it's got a flat 7. Let's just duplicate that over here. Now you've got to think about this and what you can do, because it's the 3 chord, just refer to the mode. The mode will tell you what notes you're going to need in here. The 3 chord, what kind of 6 does it have? The Phrygian scale, it has a flat 6. So it means I've got to put it here. There, look. So the difference between chord 2 and chord 3 is just that flat 6 there. But I've still got this not note that I can put in there, which means I can slide here and I can slide here as well. Okay. Then I've got to put my little triad on here. So that puts me up here now. Let's listen to chord 3 here. Is that loud enough? See? You get a different sound. Can you hear that okay? Is that better? Triad. Okay, there's the triad. There's the 7ths. Okay. There's the scale note for the chord. And here is that little triangular extension. I'm just thinking of it as like an extension to the shape, really. And we're still getting us 2-1-2 patterns as well. That lives there. And there's the chord underneath it. Now what I did there is I just joined them up together. I played chord 1, chord 2, chord 3. Yeah, so this is all in the high voice strings as well.